strength, a little bit of yoga. I'm a physical therapist, first strength coach, second yogi, endurance athlete. If you fit into any of those categories, or if you just want to do some core work, join me. This is for you, all levels. It is advanced. I will show modifications, 30 minutes. We're going to start off in standing. Let's get it going. We've got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. Weights are optional, suggested, but optional. My dog might show up. We'll see. We're going to start off in standing with a yoga warm-up. Take it down onto the mat. Core series of 3. Subscribe to my channel. I always do 3 power moves in the middle of class. Advanced, spicy abs. I will show you options. Listen to your body. This class is for you. Let's start off with a nice yoga warm-up. Listen to your body. Modify as needed. I cannot stress that enough. As a physical therapist, you do you. Inhale, reach. Get some length in the spine. Let's do the sun salutation, a warm-up, just to get things going. Nothing crazy. And then on your exhale, forward fold, bring the arms all the way down. Shake it out. Keep the knees nice and soft. Give the lower back a little bit of relief. Shake it out. Release any tension. Just using the sun salutation A sequence to warm up before we get into those spicy abs. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, straighten out the knees. Get a nice stretch in your hamstrings. We're starting slowly. We will speed up. Don't you worry. Hold it here. Brace with your abs. 1 breath. And then hands come down, step back into plank. No planks today. Last week we had a lot of planks. We'll have a little bit in the warm-up. That's about it. So engage your shoulders. Use this time to get some strong shoulders. Push away from the mat. Spread your fingers wide. Tuck the chin in. Nice long spine here. Exhale, knees down, slowly lower. Chaturanga, elbows close to your sides. Open up the chest. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. Uncurl your toes. Come up into a little baby cobra. Giving our back a little bit of a chance to warm up so we're not just going crazy right off the bat. Hold it here. Shoulders out of your ears. Exhale back down. Uncurl your toes. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. I host live classes every week. Subscribe to the channel to get notifications of class. Or check out my other core workouts. Pedal the feet out here. Downward facing dog. Ankle mobility. Pedaling those feet. Give your calf and ankles a nice stretch. Who doesn't have tight calves, right? Who doesn't have tight ankles and calves? Everybody here. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Let's go through this sequence 2 more times, and then we're moving on. Walk your hands back to your feet, rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Head coming up last. Articulate through your spine. Inhale, reach to the sky. Yoga is a great way to get mobility as well as a little bit of strength. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the arms all the way down. Nothing crazy. Just easy sun salutation A, yoga warm-up. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back, this is your hip hinge, your deadlift. Hold it here. Brace with your abs. Hands come down, step back into plank number 2. We don't have that many planks today, so let's take advantage now. Work those shoulders. Push away from the ground. Exhale, lower either knees down or all the way down, chaturanga. Controlled. Work your shoulders. Uncurl your toes. Push yourself up into baby cobra, or if you want to come all the way up into up dog or cobra, that is up to you. Listen to your body. Retract the shoulder blades down your back. Engage your lats. That's going to help to stabilize and support that lower back. So it starts from here. Abs are braced. Last breath. Exhale back down. Push yourself back, downward facing dog. Pedal the feet 1 more like this, then we are moving on. I got some balancing today, a little bit of single leg warrior 3 RDLs. Your warrior 3 is your Romanian deadlift, basically. We're gonna do that today. Didn't think you were gonna do some deadlifts, did you? Inhale, reach to the sky, last time. Exhale, forward fold. It's all the same stuff, we're just calling it different names, guys. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come down into plank. Plank is kind of just a plank, no matter who you ask, right? At least we can all agree on that. Plank, hold it here, tuck the chin in. Brace with your abs. Exhale, lower. Last time, we're moving on. Up dog or cobra. Last breath, pull the shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, push it back. Downward dog. We're moving on. We do have some warrior 3. That is a balancing pose. But let's finish with a little bit more of our planks before we move on to this balance. So bring your hands a little bit further out in front of you. I want you to finish into this tall plank position so that you're not way far in front of the wrists. just stacked like this. If you don't love planks, they're not good for your wrists and shoulders, then take it down dog, or take a child's pose, whatever. We are moving on in a sec. If you are okay, I want you to rock back and forth. Again, I'm pushing away from the mat. I'm not sinking into my shoulders. I'm creating some stability, spreading the fingers wide. Push away, engage the full shoulder, exhale it back. If you can, reach that hand to that opposite shin. Just a little bit more of our planks to finish out our warm-up, and then we're gonna come into standing. We've got one more move. Like I said, that warrior three pose is basically your single leg RDL, your deadlift. So we're gonna work a lot of the glutes, hamstrings, foot, balance, arch of the foot, a lot of strengthening, a lot of balance. Weights are optional, right? If you have weights, I got a 10-pounder here. Grab it, we're gonna use those next, optional. Two more just like this. One more, exhale it back. Use the breath, guys. Walk your hands back to your feet, come into standing, come to the middle of your mat. Weights, again, optional. RDL, you can have different hand positions, right? For our warrior three, we have no weights, and we're just focusing on balance. So start with the hinge first. When I said hinge, in the beginning, this is what I meant. This is a hinge. This is a squat. This is a hinge. Hips go back, and then my chest leans forward. Root your right foot into the ground. Create that strong arch in that right foot. It starts from the foot up. 3 points of contact. Big toe, pinky toe, heel, engage. Pull the arch up. Squeeze that booty, squeeze that right glute. Hinging at the hips. Warrior three. Hips are level, and then come back. Again, if you are struggling with balance, you don't need the weights. The weights just add more, right? Now, again, I get clients asking me all the time, which hand do I hold? Oh, Dara, what should I do, left or right? Doesn't matter. Up to you. Different things we're gonna work depending on which hand we have that weight in. So opposing grip, I like that. It helps me to feel more balanced. Some people want the weight in the same hand. That's gonna give you a little bit more work. It's gonna depend on your glute being a little bit more engaged with that weight in that hand versus opposing side, maybe a little bit more core strength. Not a huge deal. It's hard for me to talk and balance at the same time. Again, you're going back and forth with this hinge. Engage that right glute. Extended warrior three, arms overhead. If you really struggle with balance, hold on to the wall, hold on to a foam roll. Give yourself some support. Again, when I teach this, I really want people to focus on this nice, long, extended position. My rear leg is straight. I really like to focus on that extension. So I don't like that back knee bent because it's hard for people to tell when they're keeping their back flat. Let's do a few more on this side. Again, you should be feeling this in your hamstrings and your glutes on that right leg, right? And your foot. I feel my foot working a lot. Maybe my abs too, keeping my core braced. One more time, and then we're gonna switch sides. Again, weights are optional. Challenging move for a lot of people for a variety of reasons, but balance, it's hard, right? Let's do the other side. Again, your RDL, your warrior three. Hips are squared. So when I say hips are squared, if you got tight hips like me, you may kind of want to be doing this. That ain't it. Gotta square off the hips. And that means for a lot of you guys, literally guys, tighter hips, you may not go as low. So my RDL, I'm really finishing with my weight at my mid-shin. For those of you guys who have done Romanian deadlifts before, I'm stopping here. And again, if you've got tight hips, you may not go further because it's the hip that's limiting you. When you go too low, I'm gonna try to demo the bad way. You're like this, my back is flexed. That's not right. So let's do a few more on this left. Again, we're just using this as our warm-up, a little bit of activation, get that glute engaged. We're gonna get into our series of three next. Abs, got some spicy abs today. Again, if you have weights, we're gonna start off with a Russian twist in seated. So you're gonna use those weights. Everything else, not really needed. Weights are always optional. Two more. Challenge yourself, challenge your balance, challenge that foot strength, challenge your glutes on this side, right? This is your hip hinge. Glutes active. I know mine is. Let's do one more. Just even it out a little bit. Last time. And then come down onto the mat. Let's finish our warm-up with a little bit of cat-cow. Love my cat-cow. We're gonna start our core series with Russian twist and seated. So that's coming up next. We've got some reverse crunches, lower abdominal work, and we've got a little bit of a V up, which is kind of everything. I will show options for that one as well. All these are pretty advanced. Again, seated twist, you don't need weights. That is just optional. If you got them, grab them for that Russian twist. Obliques is our target for that first exercise. Lower abdominals for the second. The third one, kind of a lot of everything, right? 2 more. Articulate through the spine. We need a supple spine, mobility, not just strength, right? That's what this class is about, both. You need this mobility, core strength, Gotta have joints that move, healthy, as well as strong. All right, sitting up, Russian twist. I'm gonna give you the cues that I like. You don't need the weights. You can also grab a water bottle, anything, right? But even unweighted, this is a great oblique exercise, grabbing behind the thighs, sitting up nice and tall. I'm not here, I'm here, active. Pull the shoulder blades down, my back, brace with my abs. I'm gonna stay here the whole time. If you have the weights, you can add those in. If you don't have the weights and you just wanna focus on maybe a little bit more balance, right? Legs are up to you. I personally, again, this is just me, I like to have my feet down because when I do my core work, if you check out my other classes or my other core playlist, I really like to add a lot of weights, right? It's a chance for me personally to get a little bit more shoulder and upper body definition and work. It's also a great way as an endurance athlete, right? Someone who runs and bikes a lot. I don't get a lot of upper body in, so I like to program this. As a strength coach for a lot of endurance athletes, I like to give this to them as well. We want full body strength. We want a healthy body from head to toe, not just our legs, right? So a lot of us just walk or just bike or whatever. We need some upper body. It's also a nice way to work on a little bit more definition, right? So if your goal is physique goals or you're like, I just want more defined abs, you need to add weights to your core work. Abs are just muscles, guys, just like anything else, right? So that's just a little bit of my why. I like to add a lot of weights to my core work. You don't need to if your goals are different or you're like, hey, I'm really struggling with just the form, or I really need to work more on my balance, whatever, or I have an injury, right? I'm also a PT. If you can't hold on to the weights, whatever. So I'm just giving you guys options. So this first round, we're finishing up right now. Nice long set. So this first round is always long. I was trying to add a lot of reps. Get that fatigue, get some endurance going. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come onto your back. You don't really need weights for this one, but I will show you an option, just a little secret add-on. Reverse crunch comes from here. My butt is lifting off the ground. I like to have my hands here, hands behind the neck or head is down. Exhale, lift, and then lower, scoop. Again, what I'm going for with this is the most advanced. Most advanced would actually be here. Hold the weights. Or here. So what I'm going for with this is that as my legs lower, I'm maintaining that lower back pressed down. This is the hard part. Squeeze, lowering. That's the hard part. When I say that's the hard part, I mean you really have to engage this deep core. People say lower abdominals. I don't know if I'd really say that, but people understand that. Lower abdominals. I want your lower back to be glued to the floor. So if this is too challenging, just go here. Squeeze and tap. A lot easier to control, right? That shorter leg, shorter lever, right? I also find, here's my other secret tip, holding on to the weight sometimes gives you better stability. So holding this weight is actually sometimes easier to lock in those abs. That's a real physiological process. That's really that irradiation where I'm creating more tension. So you can add the weights. Might even help. Let's do 4 more here, whichever version you're doing. Exhale, lift. Pelvic floor is also squeezing. That's part of your core. 2. One more. Whew, all right. No weights are needed for this one. I'm doing this opposing opposite arm and leg meet in the middle. This is kind of like a reverse dead bug. If your neck is sensitive, you can have the hands here. This is our last move. Same thing applies. Exhale. This is kind of a combo of both of those moves, right? A little bit of obliques and a little bit of that deeper core. As my legs lower, same thing, keep that lower back pressed down. When I say pressed down, y'all, people don't believe me. I literally mean I don't want to be able to get a little finger in this lower back crease. That's it. Lifting the head up will usually help. Using the breath, being intentional will also help. So that's the 3 moves, right? We're gonna go through this circuit 3 times. This first set, I want you to settle in. I want you to get your head wrapped around what am I doing? Where am I engaging? Create that engagement and that connection, that brain connection. Obliques, deeper abdominals here across. It's not just about cranking on my neck, and it's not about spacing out. This is your chance to create that connection. You're gonna get much more ab engagement from just a stability purpose, but also from a strength purpose. So create that connection and be actively paying attention. What am I doing here? What am I working? What muscles am I working? How am I breathing? Obliques go across. That's them, right? 4, 3, then we're coming back up. 2, 1, rock yourself up into seated. Russian twist, whichever one you want. You know which one I want. I'm gonna give you some other cues this time. Start back in with those Russian twists. So now we're back in round 2. Some things to think about. Again, I'm sitting on my little sit bones, right? I'm not rolled under, I'm here. Actively opening the chest. I'm engaging my lats, just like we talked about in the beginning. My back is supported, stabilized. I'm not straining my lower back by being here. I'm here. I'm going through some full rotation, right? I really want to get to the end ranges because then I'm going to work my obliques more than this. It's also not about my shoulders. I want to think of that axis of rotation. My obliques crossing along the belly button. So think of that as your point to rotate from. Really rotate. The other thing I love about this move, one of my faves, it's challenging for a lot of people with the lower back, so I don't give it to all my patients. But if you can do this move, it's a great way to work on your mobility of your upper back. Every time I do this move, my back cracks in a good way, you know? And so it's a nice way to work on this upper back thoracic spine mobility. Guess what? If you have a tight back and you can't rotate, you're gonna lose a lot of power in your obliques, your core. You're also not gonna be as efficient as a runner, as a tennis player, volleyball player, swimmer. We need rotation. Our spine needs to move, not just be strong. Hips need to move, not just be strong glutes, right? 4 more. 3, that's my PT lesson for the day. 2 more, I'm gonna shut up now. Last one. On your back, reverse crunch, pelvic floor squeeze, lift, booty goes up, exhale, lower. You guys decide which one you wanna do. Focus on the breath. Exhale, squeeze. Pelvic floor, that's the bottom of that core. Diaphragm is the top. Connection, squeeze, bracing. That's what we're thinking about. Understand how this is all connected. Obliques, pelvic floor, diaphragm. Then you've got your rectus abdominis, those deep 6-pack abs in the front, paraspinals, back muscles in the back. Everything's all connected. You got a lot more going on than that, but that's kind of just to give you an idea of some of the muscle groups that we're thinking about engaging when we say core. And then again, glutes, to me, is part of your core. It's the bottom, right? Literally. That's stability. Lats, big muscles that come down the back, starting at the shoulders. That's also giving you that stability in your lower back and your spine. It's all core, right? So a few more here. And again, you decide how low. If your hip flexors are really tight, also a hard one, right? You're using those, you have to fight against those hip flexors with even stronger ab control. 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're an athlete, you probably have tight hip flexors. So that's probably you, right? That's all of us. All right. Exhale, lift. We're not taking a break. If this one is too challenging, you can also just turn it into like a modified bicycle, right? A little bit easier to control. Again, we shorten that lever arm, lever being the leg, a little bit easier to control because it's all about this. It's great if you can do these cool looking exercises, but if your form is crap, then that's not the point, right? Keep it simple. Planks, Russian twist, crunches. Keep it simple, guys, right? Perfect that. You will get so much more results, and also you won't be injured, and then you won't have to see me in physical therapy. It's gonna be a whole big deal. You don't wanna do that, right? There you go. Last 4 here. Reach. 3, thinking about going across the body. 2, obliques, last set. Last Russian twist, let's do it. Sitting up nice and tall, whatever you want to do, pay attention. Last one. Always starts as good as controlled as that first one. Last time through, sitting up nice and tall, opening the chest, pinching the shoulder blades back, adding some nice rotation, getting full rotation, engaging my obliques, working that thoracic spine mobility. I'm still sitting up tall. I'm bracing with that deep core so that I'm not slouching. My shoulders are back. I'm breathing. What else? It's a lot, right? Do it right. You pick your version, you pick your level, legs up, a little bit more balance, right? You can do both. I like to kind of just pick one, be like really intentional, whether it's my balance. Some days, maybe it's just more balance. Some days it's more weights, right? We've got options. 4 more here. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna finish with some stretching after we get done with this series. And that's it for class. Reverse crunch, exhale, lift. You can get a lot done in 30 minutes, trust me. Right, a couple days a week, this is what I program for all of my athletes, clients, patients, maybe more, depends on the patient. 2 to 3 days a week of something like this class, literally this stuff. Some stretching, some mobility, some core work, the end. You could do this in 10 minutes. You could do this one, this class 3 times a week. You'd be having a solid base, build some abdominal strength, some stability, some mobility, injury prevention. We've got a lot going on here, right? 4 more. 3, squeeze. My lower back is getting suctioned to the floor. 2, 1, relax. V-ups, last time. That's when I know I'm doing it right. It was when I start to get sweaty and my lower back sticks to the yoga mat. And it makes that like funny noise. Exhale, lift. Lower back stays pressed down. Again, modification. Shortening it up just a little bit more of that bicycle. This class is for you, right? If you need to modify any of these moves, always modify for you. This is our last move, and then we're gonna stretch, and that's it for today. Live class every week, every Friday, sometimes more, sometimes 3 times a week. But at least once a week, you're gonna catch me in a live class, stuff like this. Every class is a little bit different, targeting some different moves. Our warm-up, cool down, kind of the same. Trying to just tick all the boxes here for you guys. 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Hug the knees into your chest. Let's stretch, let's cool it down. I'll probably focus a little bit more on lower back strengthening next class. Every class is a little different. Sometimes it's glutes, sometimes it's deeper core, lower abdominals, lower back. Rock the knees side to side. Give that lower back a nice little massage here. Release any tension. Let that left leg go long. Shake it out. Hug that right knee into your chest. Give that hip a good squeeze. Roll the ankles and the toes around. Slow down the breath. Inhale through the nose. Fill the belly. And exhale it all out. Bring that knee across your body. Left hand brings that knee all the way across. Again, nice rotation. If I go even more off of the mat, that's going to get into that lower back. If I keep it here and pull, that's going to be a little bit more of my hip and my glute. Open that right arm out at an angle, giving that chest, rib cage, all that whole right side, a nice stretch. Right? Obliques as well. Open it up. Head goes wherever it feels comfortable, slowing down the breath, inhaling deep from the belly. Expand the rib cage, and then exhale out through the mouth. And sink deeper into that stretch. One more breath here. Slow down the breath, slowing, calming the nervous system down. Come back to center. Figure 4 stretch. Another hip opener. You can leave it here. You can reach through for thread the needle. You can do pigeon pose. You got all sorts of options. Again, you might look and feel different doing some of these moves, so you got to modify based on your body, right? We are all built differently. That is okay. Find whichever one feels right. Again, no pain, just nice stretch. Last few breaths here. Roll the shoulders up, release any tension. Shake the head side to side, release any tension. We need the strength, we need the mobility. We need the fast, we need the slow. We need the front side, we need the back side, right? The yin to the yang. It's all important. Last breath here. Exhale it out. Unwrap that right leg, shake it out. Roll the ankles and the toes around. Get those feet, happy, strong feet. We did that single leg balance in the beginning. That is a great way to strengthen your arch. Give that to a lot of my patients for their rehab. Strong feet, strong ankles, strong toes, strong arch. Bring that knee across your body. Healthy feet is key, right? As we get older, trust me, I got a lot of patients with some bad feet problems, and it really can create a lot of problems up the chain as well, hips, knees, back. So take care of your feet. That's my last PT tip for the day. Take care of your body, mind and body. Come back to center, figure 4. Reaching through, thread the needle if that feels good. Even more is pigeon pose, face down. If you like that, you can do that as well. Any other stretches that you need to do that feels like it's right, go for it. Now is your chance. Release any tension. We are almost done. We've really just got one more move, and that's it for today. Rolling the shoulders out. Just noting wherever you have tension. I love these stretches because it's also a chance for you to check in and see how one side is feeling. Is one hip tighter? Does something need more work? Is my shoulder tight? Is my neck tight? Use this time to check in with your body. Last few breaths. We're going to finish up in seated, and that's it for today, guys. When you're ready, unwrap that left leg. Place both feet onto the floor. Windshield wiper the knees side to side, nice and easy. Little spine. Last little bit of mobility. Rocking the knees, roll onto your side. Come into seated. We are basically done with class. Let's finish in seated with this nice tall spine. Just like we started, focusing on that nice tall posture, elongating, lengthening. You can sit however you want. You don't need to sit cross-legged. Focus on this tall spine. I want you to think about this for the rest of your day. This nice upright posture. We're not slouched. We're not hunched. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale it out. One more time. Deep inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Crown of the head up. Inhale. Exhale out. That is it for today. Thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you got something good out of class. Join me live. Subscribe to my channel. Notifications, more classes. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.